going to pass it over to our engineer Ashish, and he will go through just a couple quick housekeeping things, and we'll go ahead and get started.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I just wanted to explain a couple of capabilities that you may be participating in. If you've joined in through the web app or through a link client, you will be able to participate in audio and video as well as the content portion of this. If you're dialed in, then you'll only be hearing the audio portion. So if you've joined from multiple means through the PC and dialed in, let's make sure when we get to the question and answer part that the audio is suppressed on one of those because there will be feedback coming from your location if you have two devices providing audio and microphone. So with that, I'll go ahead and turn it over to Aaron.
Yes. So how's the audio? Good?
Yep, I hear you fine, and everyone else is on mute, so that's
great. That's what we want. Well, welcome everybody. My name's Aaron Bradstreet. I want to thank you all for joining. I want to thank Netrix for putting this opportunity together for us to showcase Microsoft's Office 365 to this audience. And if you're new to Link, welcome to Link. It's one of the amazing components of our Office 365 offering. So my name's Aaron Bradstreet. My role at Microsoft for the last little while, I've been with the company now 10 years. I have the privilege to work with Netrix as a partner of Microsoft and helping them to continue to grow their Microsoft practice. More than ever, that strategy now is including the cloud, both public, private, and hybrid environments that leverage both. We're going to open our conversation today with some commentary from me about the marketplace of cloud and what's sort of influencing the happenings in cloud. I'm going to pass it to my friend and colleague Michael Kops, who's a cloud technical solutions professional from Microsoft, to actually demonstrate some of those features in Office 365. Prior to closing the session, we're going to do a few exciting things. One, raffle off this Surface device that Netrix has made available, in addition to a copy of Windows 8 Professional for you to enjoy. So please pay close attention, because the way this is going to work is as through the presentation, I'm going to identify a question and ask that question, and those that are the first to respond in the Link client through instant message will be the winners of those devices. So following that, we'll open the floor for just a few minutes for virtual questions and answers and so on and so forth. All right, so let me get moving here. The new Office. You know, today the transformation to a world of devices connected to online services is well underway. You know, we Bing, we tweet, we like, we Skype, we post, we tag, we check in, we engage. And as we transition to this sort of always-on world of software and services, of computing devices of all shapes and sizes connecting to the cloud, we're focused on delivering our customers any information on any device, anywhere in the world, at any time. And all of this influence some of this influence falls within our Office suite. Office is no longer just an on-premise experience where you have your Excel and Word and PowerPoint and Outlook. It's a world in which that experience can be both in on-premise and in the cloud through Office 365. Trends impacting the way we work have a significant influence on what's happening. You know, there are 1 billion smartphones by 2016 that will be in the marketplace that are powerful, that people use to actually get work done. 82% of the world's online population engages in social networking. That wasn't the case even a couple of years ago. And 50% of enterprise customers are on the road not just evaluating, not just testing, but deploying cloud solutions in their infrastructures. What we aim to provide through our Office 365 platform is a productivity vision that includes the best experience across all devices. And as it relates to some of the devices that are newly entering the market, this becomes more and more impactful to end customers. And really, we need to offer, what we're shooting to do is offer the cloud in your terms. Again, not everything exists on-premise anymore. And the same can be said about cloud computing. Not all of it exists in the cloud. Increasingly, we're seeing as this transformation takes place that we have hybrid environments where Office 365 is a significant component. Providing that best experience across devices includes messaging, voice and video, content management, enterprise, social, so on and so forth. We've integrated the best-of-breed solutions in our Office 365 suite. What I want to do now is introduce Michael Kops. He's a Microsoft Cloud Technical Solutions professional. He's going to provide some additional commentary about, what's in Office 365. But what we really want you to do, have the opportunity today, is to experience how our Office 365 solution is just like your Office solution on-premise that you're used to. But he's going to be doing the 2013 version, which, as you all know, is hitting the market right now. Michael?
All right, thank you, Aaron, and I assume I sound okay? All right, he's giving me the thumbs up. We're in the same room. Again, my name is Michael Kops. I'm a TSP at Microsoft, so like a technical sales engineer. The reps that I support, like Aaron and a few others, they come to me with those, typically when they want demos and want me to really show off the platform. And then when customers and partners have those difficult, technical questions, sales-related questions that I try to do my best to answer. So, moving along. Again, Aaron touched on some very key points of our offering. It's, and if you are familiar with Office 365 and have perhaps evaluated it over the past year, today, what we have recently, as of today released is our new version of Office 365, and that's basically Office 365 based on all of the 2013 technologies. So again, yesterday, if you went to office365.com and signed up, everything was based off of the 2010 technologies, SharePoint Online, Lync Online, Exchange Online, and then the Office suite that you download now. It's all on 2013 technologies. Because it's a cloud, we just call it the latest Office. What are our main focal points? We love to talk about devices. It's top of mind for all of our customers. Everybody, every IT department we talk to, they say, gosh, all my users, they're bringing in their iPads, their Surface tablets, their iOS, their iPhones and Windows phones and Android phones, and they just want to get data on them. How do I make that happen? Well, we've made Office 365 very compatible with this new device world. We understand, for the most part, you're going to want to be productive on your computer when you're in the office. But is that a reality of the only time you're productive these days? No, you're going to be productive at the coffee shop. You're going to be productive, waiting in line on your mobile device. So again, great story there with Office 365. And we have a great story with Office 365 working on these new Windows 8 touch-enabled devices as well. And I can show you a little bit of that too in my demo. So again, another main focal point, cloud. We're all talking about cloud. Again, right now we have about 2 million users in Office 365, and I guarantee, Aaron, me and Aaron, our bosses are going to ask us to double that next year, right? So we are seeing immense growth in the cloud. Microsoft, we have the teams here to support that growth, and just about it used to be customers contacted us and said, you know what, we're not sure about the cloud. Tell me why the cloud is better than me building out on premises, and we still get that, but now it's more, gosh, we know we want to go to the cloud. Why is Microsoft the best cloud solution for us? So again, we're definitely seeing that trend, and as you are probably as well. Another trend out there is social. Typically, I always say, when you talk about enterprise social, and Aaron touched on some of the key points, microblogging, tagging, following people. I'm going to demo some of these great new social features. Just about every enterprise Microsoft works with has social top of mind. It's almost like what business intelligence used to be. Everybody wants these new social tools in their business at the enterprise level. We're seeing that trickle down to some of our corporate accounts and to our small business SMB accounts. So again, the gist of it is a lot of you probably aren't, contacting your technical advisors, your partners, contacting Netflix and saying, hey, give me those latest social features. But I think after you see some of our latest investments in Office 365, you'll say, you know what? A lot of these social features that you have built on your platform, on SharePoint Online, these could be a new way for for most of our users to communicate, along with emailing each other, opening up a link, and chatting. chatting with each other.
SharePoint's really popular here.
And
so you might be muted. Unmute.
Okay, I'm back. Looks like it. Just be sure to mute your phones, folks. I think there's a function to mute everybody, and that's what they did, and I got muted. But again, what I was saying in the social, in the social realm, it's another means of communication alongside of picking up the phone and calling people, emailing and chatting. Now we have social communication. So finally, the fourth pillar is control. And again, I don't go too much into it in my demo, but we've added a lot of great new control features. And remember, these are the same control features that a lot of the enterprises, your Starbucks, Coca-Cola, Philips, a lot of the big companies that we've signed Office 365, they ask for these control features. You, as a small business, can also get these features as well just by signing up for this platform. That's like DLP, data loss prevention, advanced email archiving, being able to be on an online service that is in a highly invested data center where we have, various different compliance certifications. Again, previously it's very difficult for small businesses to be on that type of platform, but now it's quite easy with Office 365. So, moving along, really quick, what are we talking about? We gave you a few slides just, talking about the value of Office 365. Let me actually show you what the components are that make up Office 365. First, we have Office, the new Office. By Office, what do I mean? I mean our familiar Outlook, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, OneNote, in other applications included in the Office subscription. It's a subscription. When you install your Office, how do you get it working? You use your username and you use your password instead of putting in that 16-digit alphanumeric key. That's the Office subscription. Again, you can install it on up to 5 devices. Your users can install Office on their home computer. They use their username and password to authenticate that Office software. When that user leaves the company, you disable their account, and guess what? Their Office doesn't work anymore on that device after a certain period of time. So it offers great flexibility. There's also great Office web app capabilities. I already saw a question in the Q&A. How easy would it be for my users to, in education, to log into Office 365 and start using the Office apps? Well, it's very easy. They can sign in, go to their SharePoint site, and start using the browser-based version of Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and OneNote right from within their browser. Very simple. Or they can use Office on Demand, stream Office. Just with one click, they will have a full version of Word, Excel, PowerPoint streamed down. They don't even have to have it installed on their computer. It would be a streaming experience. Or you can install Office the traditional way, like we're used to installing it. What's great about it, it will run alongside previous versions of Office that you have. Next, we have Link Online, and again, that's what we're using right now. I think we're doing this is a great demo. We're sharing a PowerPoint. On the left-hand side, you might see a chat window. You might be able to see attendees in your attendee list of everyone who's joined the call. I could do a whiteboard session. In a second, I'm going to share my desktop. That is the Link experience. It's that web conferencing on the fly chat content sharing solution, and I think once you see your organization adopt Link, it will become a main means of communication for you. I know for us at Microsoft it is. I know for our partners, this is how we communicate with our partners. So moving along, because I want to make sure we have plenty of time to demo. SharePoint Online, it is, I guess most of us are familiar with SharePoint. It's basically our browser-based collaboration platform. In the most simplest terms, you can use SharePoint to store your documents and collaborate on documents and get a lot of those rich document management features that we're used to with content management solutions. but you can do so much more. You can, you can post web forms up on SharePoint Online and associate workflows so that anytime someone fills out a form, maybe an approver group gets an email. You can go to our rich SharePoint App Store and download business-ready applications, solutions that help solve some of those pain point business challenges that you're experiencing. You could use SharePoint Online for your corporate intranet, and that's a very typical usage. You go onto SharePoint Online and you see every single department in your organization represented on the top navigation and all the associated content. And then the final quadrant, we have Exchange Online. Typically, most of our customers, this is what drives them to Office 365. A common first step is to, we need to solve our messaging issues. We're currently on an old version of Exchange, maybe Exchange 2003. We know we have to upgrade. We want to move to the cloud, so let's talk Exchange Online. Well, we say that's great. We've got 25 gig mailboxes. Basically, we've got a platform, Exchange Online, that is very similar to the functionality you get with Exchange on premises. We've got compliance archiving. We have a cool feature called the personal archiving, retention, all these great features. And then we talk about Exchange and then say, well, have you thought about the full suite, combining that with SharePoint, Link, Office, all intertwined together, creating this great user productivity experience. And now that we're talking productivity experience, I'm going to shift gears and I'm going to go to the demo right now and I'm going to show you that experience. So I'm going to go ahead and become the active presenter. And while I do that, it says, are there attachment size limitations? I'm just looking at the recent question from Chris. And yeah, the attachments are 25 megs in and out. So we do have a hard limit of 25 megs. And then JS, there is a great Mac story. Absolutely. We do have Office for Mac, so Office 2011 for Mac. That will be, when you sign up for Office 365 today, you will have access. If you get an Office subscription, you will also have access to the Office version of Mac to download. Again, we have a link that works on the Mac. Everything that you see me show in a browser is compatible on Safari. Absolutely have a great Mac story. So I'm going to go ahead and ask Aaron if he can see my email. Looks good? Okay, cool. So let's start our demo. And typically when I'm demoing Office 365, I start with what most of us start our day out with, Outlook. What you're seeing right here is the new version of Outlook. Again, in Office 365, we call this the new Outlook. It's Outlook 2013 running on Office 2013. There's a few key features that I want to show you that we're really excited about. So if I go ahead and click on, remember the ribbon in previous versions of Office? Well, we do have the ribbon, but the ribbon's now hidden because the feedback we got was, we want that clean, simple look. Why does the ribbon have to show up all the time when we're not always using what's on the ribbon? So that's the ribbon. Touch. Every application that Microsoft is going to start releasing is going to have a touch component to it. So if I go ahead and I'm going to click on this touch option, notice what happened to my Outlook. And again, if you hit F5 and you'll get the full view, but hopefully you'll see on the far right my little menu that showed up. I actually have a touch device, and I'm going to click on this email right here, and with my thumb over here, I just on my Windows 8 touch device, I just deleted that email with the new touch menu. Notice how on the left-hand side, a bigger gap came between those folder list items, just to make it easier for my big thumbs. And on the right-hand side, we have a new menu there. So that's the touch mode. We've got this new world of devices where it's no longer the mouse. The mouse keyboard experience driving everything. Yes, that's what most of us are comfortable with, and to be honest with you, that's when I'm most productive. But I also use the touch components of my device, and Windows 8 has made that very easy, and so have these new Office applications. So let's get out of touch. I'm going to go ahead and go back to mouse. I just want to share with you a few cool new features. Notice this email from Terry. I'm going to go ahead and reply to Terry. notice what, oops, and there's my new touch keyboard. It went ahead and I'm going to go ahead and hide that. Notice what happened when I replied to Terry. It didn't pop out a new window. It gave me an inline reply. This reply is in the body of Outlook. Notice when I hover over Outlook down here, it's not giving me another pop-up, another window. How many of us reply throughout the day, and at the end of the day, you've got 65 different emails popped up, and you're working on, 7 of them are drafts, and you're trying to remember which one's which, and then, oh, by the way, I have to close Outlook because I want to restart because updates are being downloaded, and you have to go and close each email. Well, no longer the case. Now it's all just inline Outlook. Notice what happened when I clicked on this inline reply to Terry. In the left-hand side, I got the little draft notification. And so if I click off this email, it is actually notifying in my inbox that this is a draft. I no longer have to go into my drafts folder. It's just right there. This has saved me a ton of time. At the end of the day, I scroll down my emails, and I find all the drafts, and I make sure I reply. No longer do I have the problem of going into my drafts folder over here and 2 months later and seeing an email and saying, oh, gosh, I forgot to respond to them. So that has been an instant productivity saver. Here's another one. So say me and Terry are thinking about meeting tomorrow. How about 10 a.m.? But I don't really know if I'm available 10 a.m. What did I used to have to do? I would click on my calendar, and then I'd be in a whole different window. Then I'd have to go back and find that email. Here, I'm just going to hover over my calendar on my peaks. We call these peaks. And I could see, guess what? I mean, the cursor's still blinking in my email. I'd never left that email. I'm just peeking into my calendar. You know what? I'm not good 10 a.m. tomorrow. I'm good at 11. So with my peak, I found out 11 a.m. is good. I can also peek at, people, and tasks is in here as well if I click on those 3 dots. So I did my peaks, I found a good time, and I hit send. So 3 features to get excited about this new version of Outlook: inline reply, drafts, and peaks, right? So another cool feature, you may or may not know this, but Microsoft is heavily invested in apps, this new app world, right? It's a term we're all comfortable with. Why? Well, we've got, maybe we have an iPad, and we like to hit the store and buy all these great, cool, mainly consumer-related apps, but also some business-related apps as well, Microsoft is heavily invested in this app market as well. And with this new Office 365, we have apps for Office. In this example, I'm going to show you an app for Outlook. You can also get apps for Excel. You can also get apps for Word. And you can get apps for SharePoint Online. So I'm going to go ahead and show you a cool app right here. So I'm going to click on this email from Robin. Notice how this Bing Map option popped up. I've never seen this before in other versions of Outlook. This is an actual app somebody wrote, and I installed it on my back end to show up for my users. And this is, if you sign up for Office 365, it is very easy to get this app. I'm going to go ahead and click on it, and you know why it popped up? It recognized there was an address in the body of the email. It's going to say, we think we found an address, and it maps that address in the email for me right within the body of the email. Pretty cool, right? How did I do this before? I had to find the address, copy and paste, open up a browser window, go to bing.com whack maps or Google Maps, and paste it in there. Now it's a completely interactive experience. Saved me some time. Suggested meetings. There's also this app recognizes that there's a time that someone wants to meet with me, and it queries my calendar and gives me some suggested meetings as well. So 2 very cool apps that we can really get excited about in Outlook. Really quick, some other Outlook features. There's something called DLP. I just want to show you this really quickly. And what DLP is, it's the ability to block email, not just basically tell someone you shouldn't be sending this email, but to proactively block it. So I'm going to go ahead and send out this customer data to my basically to a contact that I have, because I'm quitting the company and I want to send all my accounts out there. I got a policy tip basically that says, you know what, this message may contain sensitive information. As an IT administrator can create tips like this, and what's unique about this policy tip is it's actually not allowing me to send this email. And as an IT administrator, I can report on people that are violating this policy tip. Now, this specific one has an option to override. But again, you don't have to. You certainly don't have to allow that, and then this person wouldn't be able to send out. So it's not just like a mail tip that we have today that says, "Oh, so and so's out of office is on." This is actually a policy tip saying so and so is not allowed. So this was a compliance a lot of our customers asked for. So that's some new stuff in Outlook. Let's shift gears, and I'm going to go into the portal, but really quick, I'm going to show you. Office, and because Office is part of Office 365, obviously, and this is the new version of Excel. Let me really quickly show you some cool features. Here you've got some output from a column on Excel. I'm going to go ahead and type in a few keywords. Notice in this output, maybe I want to pull maybe the second data point of that column out. I'm going to go ahead and just click here. I typed in those two columns, and there's some methodology here built into Excel that tells me, you know what, I know what you're trying to pull out. I'm going to pre-populate that for you. That's called flash fill. I want to pull out all the sales reps. I've got John, Jenny, Bill, so I'm going to start with John. I'm going to start with Jenny. And for those of you that have worked in Excel and worked with large amounts of data, this is only 20-some rows, but imagine if it were 10,000, right? This is a huge productivity saver, and we call that flash fill, new feature of Excel. Now that I have my data, how do I present it to look cool, to look, to have impact with my management team, for example? Well, I just highlight that data, and I get a new option here. It's called Quick Analysis. Check this out. I get these recommended ways to manipulate my data and display my data. Data bars, color scale, icon sets. Okay, you know what? That's okay. Not quite what I want. How about, I want to make a chart. I want to make a chart to see what my sales reps are doing and how they're selling. So I could do a clustered. No, here's a good one. This has my sales reps and the amount of revenue they're driving. I go ahead and click that one. It creates a chart for me on the fly. So if you're familiar with Excel and you've tried to build these kind of charts on past versions of Excel, this took you a lot of time, right? Typically, what did you do? You searched around for someone who had created a chart, for a pre-existing chart, and then you tried to just manipulate that chart because you didn't want to build it from scratch. So I like to say this version of Excel 2013, turns our average user into Excel power users with these great features. I mentioned apps earlier, so I'm going to show you a new app. Again, think of Office apps as the traditional App Store model. I've got this new insert option. I hit insert, and I've got all these different apps that I've pre-downloaded. If I hit see all, I could go, these are all the apps I've installed for my Excel, and as a user I can install these, or as an IT administrator, you can roll these out to your company. You can create your own, build your own apps, and have them available for your users to use. How did we used to do this in Excel? We didn't have apps for Excel. We could build macros, and they were difficult and version dependent. Now we just have these great apps. I could find more apps in the Office App Store if I wanted to. There's hundreds and thousands of apps in there right now. So this app is a simple one. A lot of them are business intelligence related. I'm going to click on Bubbles. It's called a Bubbles app, and it's just a fun app that renders this data. Hold on one second. I'm going to go ahead and there we go. And this app is free. This is a free app, and most of them are free. There are some that you pay, but again, I just chose this data that I had, and now I've got this interactive, cool way to display my data. These are my the number of partners I have in each of the cities that I support. And again, do you want to display this in a boring, column? Chart right here, or do you want to use something cool like the Bubbles app that people can play with? So, if anything, check this out. Sign up for an Office 365 trial. Go into your, download Office. Go into your App Store and start playing around with apps. How do I get to the App Store? Notice how Office is now cloud enabled. Look in the upper right. I'm signed in. I'm signed in with my Microsoft account. You would be signed in with your Office 365 account, and that gives you that identity, that cloud component for Office. In the most common way, the reason why we sign into Office is so that we can store our files there. You would be storing your files on the SkyDrive. So again, let's talk about the SkyDrive and other great features of our new portal. So here is the new Office 365 portal. I'm going to go ahead and refresh this page because it's been a bit static. This is my health dashboard. I get this because I'm an admin. It's kind of out of scope of what I want to talk about today. I want to more talk about the user experience and productivity, communication, collaboration. So again, if you want to know, okay, what are the admin features I have? Well, how do I set up users? All of that stuff. Definitely engage Netrix. We will walk you through that, and we can even provide a follow-up session for that. So notice how on this new home portal, I have this top navigation with all these exciting new options. I have my Outlook, my calendar, people, and I'll get into that in a second. News feeds, SkyDrive, and sites. No matter where I click, I am always going to show this top navigation. We want this to be your home portal that you go to have access to everything that you're interested in. Now, most of us, we use Outlook, right? When we're working on email, but we're not always going to have our Outlook client, and for that reason, we could use Outlook Web App. Notice how Outlook Web App, and I'm on it right now, looks a lot like Outlook. Let me switch them really quick. Here's Outlook, Outlook Web App. Outlook Web App, right? Very similar look and feel. We're trying to make it consistent across the board. You might ask, well, if they're so similar, why do I need Outlook if Web App is so great? Well, there's still more that you can do in Outlook. A lot of the add-ins, not the apps, because the apps work in Outlook Web App as well, but some SharePoint integrations are more work in Outlook. And let's be honest, our users, they're comfortable with Outlook, and users like their Outlook experience. So again, an alternate way, though, is always to use OA. I'm in the browser, but I'm right-clicking, I'm dragging and dropping, and again, it sure doesn't feel like a browser experience. I can move on to Calendar, and here's my web calendar. I can add other calendars. Again, this is all browser-based, right? Imagine you're, at your parents' house or, a friend's house, and you didn't bring your computer, but you want to be productive for an hour. You log into your portal. You have Outlook. You have your calendar. People. Everything you need is right here. And again, it's all based in that browser experience. We don't lead with the browser experience and saying, you know what, we want this to be your main productivity experience. No, you use Office. You use Outlook for that, but it's an alternate experience. So I'm going to click on People here. Again, the reason why we call this tab People and not Contacts is I can add some other social networks. I can add my LinkedIn contacts in here as well. So I have that, I look up one user, Alex, and I show his, he's a contact in my organization, but he's also a LinkedIn contact, and it will consolidate those for my own view, which is a very nice feature. Moving along, because I know I don't have a ton of time, and Aaron wants to do some exciting stuff on this call. I want to show you the news feed. This is the social I was talking about. Here, Katie, and let's just use this example. Katie logs in and says, does anyone know of any good marketing resources, right? Very plain, but for the sake of the example, you get the idea. She tags marketing, so anyone who has tagged marketing, it shows up right here in the right-hand side. And then people can like it, people can reply in this microblog type format. She mentioned, Garth. Oh, I heard Garth, and she mentions Garth. Now Garth gets a notification that he's been mentioned. Katie can even go over here on the mentions and see, you know what, who's been talking about me? I can go over here on mentions and just give it a second for it to load, and I'll see all the different people that have mentioned me in their posts. So again, this is what we're talking about with social. You might wonder, well, this looks like it's SharePoint. What about Yammer. Microsoft bought Yammer, right? The leaders in enterprise social. Stay tuned. That is an integration we're looking forward to and is coming. But right now, when I talk social, it's this news feed that's right here in my Office 365 portal. I can also follow people, and so maybe I'm interested in what Garth has to say. I can follow people. I click on this, and then these are all the people I'm following. Anytime they post, they're going to show up in my news feed, right? The idea of this news feed is to, instead of me hunting around for information, I want information to come to me. That's the idea of social. I want to have one portal where everything comes to me, and I don't have to go out searching, digging. I can follow documents. Maybe there's a key pricing document. It just shows up here anytime it's updated, and these are my important documents. Someone sends me a link to a document. I don't have to save it as a favorite. I just follow it. It also gives me, if you didn't see that really quick, it gives me suggestions of, oh, you're interested in that document? You might be interested in this other document. These are social features. I can follow my SharePoint sites and my tags. Let's go to SkyDrive really quick before I hand it off to Aaron. Here's my SkyDrive. This is my online document repository. This is where you tell your users, keep your key documents that you work on every day that are very important to you, your personal documents, keep them right here. I can go ahead and hit the sync button in the upper right, and this is my favorite feature of SkyDrive. This is why we get really excited when we talk about it. Hit sync now. I'm not going to do it because I've already synced another library. And I open up my Explorer window and check this out. Those documents sync locally to my local drive. I use 2 different computers at Microsoft depending on what I'm doing, and I have my SkyDrive synced on both, and I have access to all my important documents on no matter what computer I'm on. And I open them up from here, from Explorer, on my local hard drive, make changes. I could be on the plane, offline, make changes, and then next time I'm online, they just sync. So it's that great backup, high availability solution for your users' documents. If you currently have users keeping important documents in their My Docs and they're not being backed up, I think this would be a great solution for you. And this is really a component of the new Office, the Office 2013 platform. So that's SkyDrive. Really quick, and I know Aaron probably wants me to wrap up right now. Yeah, he's nodding and agreeing. This is the new SharePoint. We don't want to shortchange SharePoint, obviously. And here's the new look and feel. I'm managing a project up here, and it's giving me notifications. I've got these modern-looking tiles here linking to other places on my sites, and then my document library. I can turn on document versioning. Notice how I see link presence. Katie's not logged in right now, so she's not showing green, but I see link presence. I like this feature. Here's a presentation. I can click on it really quick. It's giving me a sneak preview of my PowerPoint, and I can go ahead and scroll through that PowerPoint and look at the slides and say, you know what? Instead of downloading it to see if it's the right one, I just scroll through it and say, yep, yeah, that looks like a good one, or nope, I've already seen this prezo, I don't need it. So again, great, cool features like that, and really, if you can think of it, if you can think of a business problem, I'll guarantee we can sit down and find a solution for that problem on SharePoint Online. It's that great. And really quick, there's a lot of packaged apps as well. I mentioned apps for Office. I'm really going to, here's an app I downloaded for SharePoint. It's just a map app that plots different locations in the world that I would like to visit someday. Or maybe I have branch offices. We plotted them there. All kinds of apps in the SharePoint App Store. Instant functionality. Apps Microsoft built. Apps partners built. Apps you could build if you had a developer, right? So again, these are just some of the great new features of Office 365. There's much, much more, but I'm running out of time. So at this point, I think I'm going to hand it back to Aaron, and he's going to finish us out.
Wow, great. Thank you so much, Michael. Now, if you're still tuned in and you're still paying attention, there's been some folks that have been actively asking questions on the left-hand side, and we are going to and we're gonna want to leverage that link instant message component built into link for the following giveaway, right? So as I mentioned before, I'm about to ask a question. We're going to start with the Surface device. And the first person to respond correctly in that instant message window in the lower left, make sure you know what I'm talking about. So I'll give you 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Respond and answer this question. We're going Surface device first, and we're going Windows 8. I believe it's Enterprise version. So the question is, what are the 4 basic components available in the Office 365 solution set? And I don't have any hold music. I have nothing but the sound of my voice. Jacob, no. Craig. Whoa. Okay, close the action. I got to find the first one. The answer, I believe it's Tom. Tom got it right, so let me see and read what Tom wrote. Office, SharePoint, Link, and Exchange. He only gets 1 minus 2 demerit points for misspelling Link. It's LYNC. But thank you, Tom. So the Netrix team will be in touch, and you will be receiving the Surface device from that team. So, question 2.
Tom, really quick, can you type your last name because I just see Tom in there? Can you just put your last name in there so I can know who to reach out to?
Great. Congratulations, Tom. So if you didn't hear that, please put your last name in the window so that we can get that device to you. Tom Murray, great. All right, okay, crack your knuckles. Here comes number 2 for Windows 8. The question is, what is Microsoft's productivity vision with what we've just reviewed? And I'm going to give you the beginning of the sentence, and I want you to finish it for me. We want to deliver the best experience. Finish that sentence. Our productivity vision. We want to deliver, yes. Emily nailed it. Across all devices, across any device. So congratulations, Emily, and we have your last name, so we're all set. Now, we had anticipated or tried to create an opportunity for Q&A. We're out of time. We want to be respectful of everybody's time on the phone. So what I'm going to do with my partner Michael and and the team at Netrix is we're going to collect all of those questions that weren't answered, and then we'll follow up with you folks in email, I believe, or you'll get a personal phone call from somebody at the Netrix team. I want to thank you all very much. I want to thank the Netrix team. You guys are awesome. Michael, again, tremendous work. Have a great day, and we'll talk to you all next time.
Thanks, everybody.